Let's speak about Lucid Motors' fourth quarter and fiscal year 21 earnings. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and boy, do we have an awful lot to speak about today. So, obviously, we've spoken about Lucid Motors from literally day one on this channel. We invested from day one. We have held from day one. Well, actually, no, we did sell some shares in the 50s or 60s to go risk-free. But anyway, a lot came out in this earnings, okay? A lot of bad things came out in this earnings. There's also quite a few genuinely good things that came out, but they are certainly going to be overshadowed by the bad that came out. In today's video, I want to speak about absolutely all of it. Okay, so to do so, I'm going to be bringing you through the important parts of the report that came out. There's a lot of noise in here, a lot of things that don't matter, so we're going to skip over them. There's also a few more things I want to speak about just from when they updated their 22 outlook, because this is potentially going to be the biggest thing, and this is what's going to bring the stock price down. We can see that in pre-market trade, and as I record this, it's down at about 24.88 after a near 10% day yesterday, so there's going to be a big gap down. That's what we're going to be doing today. I think there's going to be quite a bit of information, so I don't do this often anymore, but there will be timestamps in the description if there is a particular part of the video you want to jump through. But obviously, I recommend you watch the whole thing through because pretty much all of it is going to be valuable. Really quickly, my friend, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new around here. All of that helps me out so much, motivates me to keep on going. And also, if you are like me and like free money, hit the first link in the description. Sign up to Moo, deposit $100. You can get up to 5 free stocks, each valued up to $3,500. It is literal free money. It is the easiest thing you can do. And if you're a Lucid investor on a day like today, maybe getting some free money will cheer you up. So we're going to start it off right here, okay? And again, I'm going to be going through some parts very quickly, some parts in detail. Those timestamps are in the description if you do want them. Anyway, page 5, a groundbreaking year for Lucid. The fourth quarter and fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021 were extraordinary periods for Lucid Group. The company began production and customer deliveries of the groundbreaking Lucid Air from its purpose-built vehicle and powertrain factories in Arizona. Obviously, straight off the bat, we knew this, but we're still happy to be, given that information. The world's first officially certified, independently validated electric vehicle with a range of over 500 miles on a single charge, and the world's fastest charging EV is now in customers' hands. So, I mean, right off the bat, guys, that is an exciting sentence, okay? Everything else aside, we have to remember what stage of the company's life cycle they're at. They are still a very young company in the grand scheme of things, and that will be shown in a lot of what we're going to be speaking about today. But these vehicles are in people's hands. People own them. People drive them on a daily basis, and that is exciting, okay? These breakthrough metrics were achieved by leveraging in-house technologies, endowing Air with unsurpassed efficiency and fueling demand, with over 25,000 reservations today. Okay, so the number we had before this was about 20,000. Huge uptick in reservations. One thing we're going to speak about today is the fact that they under-delivered in regards to delivering these vehicles. When we look at the absolute cash mountain this company have, we have to ask ourselves why, okay? We will get into that. So key statistics, Lucid Air customer deliveries 125. That's below what we expected. It's below what the company expected of themselves. This is a bad thing. This is something that will bring the stock's price down, simply put. Reservations up massively. Massively. Now, again, it's only reservations. Some people don't care about this whatsoever. Me, personally, I still like seeing the reservations go up. It's happy days, okay? Installed annual production capacity is already at 34,000, okay? With it, plans that we will get into of going up higher and higher and higher. Considering the number of employees, again, is approaching 4,000, we have this production capacity. I still feel like this company really does want to ramp things up, okay? Potential sales due to these reservations of $2.4 billion, absolutely huge. Alongside their cash on hand being $6.2 billion, this is huge. This is a lot of cash. And this puts Lucid in a fantastic position, especially when you go and look at their 21 capex at just over 400 million. We can have a little bit more of an in-detail look at that later on. But anyway, all in all, a lot of positives to take away just from this first slide, just from the key statistics. Also kicked off phase 2 factory expansion in Arizona to add 2.85 million square feet, launched the Lucid Dream Drive, and made over-the-air updates available. Fantastic. Okay, this has to be a given these days in the world of EV. They raised their $2 billion. You will all remember this a while ago. Mixed reviews about that, but it puts them in that incredible cash position. Production has exceeded 400 vehicles with over 300 deliveries to date, and a continued focus on exceptional quality, as there should be. And in 2022, announced plans to build the first international manufacturing facility in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, this, again, is a huge one that people have to be aware of, and it's a huge long-term catalyst for this company. Remember, anybody who is investing in Lucid Motors should be in them for the long term. They're not even expecting to be profitable this year. Next year, all going well. More than likely towards the last quarter of the year, again, all going well. They're not going to bring out a quarterly report or a yearly report and all of a sudden say we're making billions and billions and billions of profit. That's not going to happen for a very long time. So, you can't just look towards EPS or lack of EPS when valuing a company like Lucid. So that's just some key stats, okay? From here on in, the next few pages, not too important, okay? Dreams come true. Lucid completes first customer deliveries. We're already aware of this. They have some customer testimonials. I mean, of course they do. Everybody's going to have that. They continue to win rave reviews. Yes, they have been getting fantastic reviews, particularly this one here, Motor Trend 22 Car of the Year. People have been very excited about that. Growing recognition of Lucid's technical prowess, luxury, and performance. They're all over the news, okay? Nothing too important there. Just a few pages basically saying, look how great we are. You know what I mean? So, in-house engineering, a foundational advantage for Lucid, okay? First and foremost, again, over-the-air updates to Lucid vehicles enable continuously improving customer experience throughout the ownership journey. When Tesla started doing this, it became a given that anybody who wanted to actually be competitive in the world of EV was going to have to do this. So, again, it's good to see that this is already available with Lucid Motors. It's not a guessing game. We're not going to have to wonder if they're going to, be able to do this in the future. And these software updates have successfully begun, just for the record. They're not just speaking about it. They are out there. They are happening. Now, when it comes to in-house engineering, when it comes to the likes of vertical integration, people like these words a lot with EV. Lucid's core EV powertrain technology is designed, developed, and manufactured in-house, okay? Fantastic, especially when you look at the fact that there is a lot of supply chain issues. It's caused Lucid to have to cut their production outlook in the realms of 30 to 40%, which we will get into a little bit later. But anyway, it builds on years of experience as a technology provider to the World Championship EV Racing Series to develop the most advanced and efficient ultra-high voltage EV powertrain system available today. And again, I mean, when you do look at the statistics, when you look at the official EPA estimated range, and they're breaking 500 miles, they're breaking 1,000 horsepower. Yes, I mean, they are extraordinarily powerful electric vehicles as far as it goes in today's world. Unlike the majority of EVs from other companies, every Lucid Air is powered by in-house electric motors, transmission systems, power electronic inverters, wonderbox, and battery pack. It's their technology that distinguishes them. Yes, 100%, okay? And they have to throw it in there. Lucid is also a software company. Everybody's a software company. Every EV company is a software company these days. And these breakthroughs in range, efficiency, and charging are attributable to both in-house software and hardware. Okay? So, yeah, there we go. Happy days. In-house engineering is a foundational advantage for Lucid. A lot of companies are also, going down this route much, much more so as of this moment in time. So, not a breakthrough, not something we didn't know, but yeah, still worth, reminding yourself. Vertically integrated production, okay? Growing capacity and capabilities, okay? A couple of things I want to speak about here. We'll go through the whole thing. Lucid's core EV technology is not only created in-house, but also manufactured at LPM1, Lucid's dedicated EV powertrain facility in Arizona. So everybody, again, should be aware of this, but again, it's all vertical, okay? It's all Lucid. These units are dispatched from LPM1 to Lucid's nearby car factory, AMP1, to be installed in every Lucid Air, okay? Their vehicle manufacturing facility in Casa Grande, current capacity is already up to 34,000 per year, more than enough to do with, the reservations they have and the growing list of reservations they have, okay? AMP1 Phase 2 expansion is currently well underway, with the goal of increased capacity to 90,000 units per annum. So again, just reminding us of all these positive things, all these long-term catalysts that are coming up. In addition to their Arizona product footprint, Lucid has announced plans to construct a new production facility in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, okay? When it also comes to growing capacity and capabilities, one thing I just want to speak about quickly is this Project Gravity. I've had a few questions about this. Basically, it's this, arriving in 2023, and it's an SUV. It's just another vehicle that Lucid want to add to the team of growing vehicles they are bringing out there already. We're expecting more this year. This is to arrive in 2023. This is what Project Gravity is. They wanted to redefine the luxury SUV, which is also what they're doing with their standard vehicles, their Airs, etc. So that's all Project Gravity is when it comes to that, when you see people speak about it lately. I just got a few questions about that last time. Okay, this one here is a very important page, page 11, okay? Expanded studio and service network support business growth. We're going to start over here. Sales and service highlights. They initiated deliveries in the fourth quarter with 125 customer deliveries as of December 31st, okay? over 300 customer deliveries to date. Not what was expected. We did want more. Anyway, surpassed 25,000 reservations and expanded their footprint. Important sentence here is that they initiated deliveries in the fourth quarter, okay? Now, I don't know if this means that they were potentially a little bit behind schedule. You know, if they could have been a little bit further ahead, they could have actually hit their targets. That's a guessing game. What this sentence does say to me, though, is that our next quarterly report is going to be important, okay? If these numbers go up considerably, and if they can, you know, bring themselves back on track with the new production numbers they've set out, things will look good. But they've also said they're expecting to be quicker in the second half of this year as opposed to the first. So, as a long-term investor, I understand this. I don't mind this whatsoever. But it does bring a small bit of fear to my mind that perhaps the next quarter or perhaps even the next 2 quarters won't have numbers that people who don't truly understand the business will be happy with. And it will again be a very easy reason for people to bring the stock's price down, especially considering the fact that valuations, simply put, are already high. They're trading at very high multiples. And I mean, yes, to an extent, EV companies do. All you have to do is look at Tesla, look at any leader in pretty much any industry. But yeah, it's still not justified. And anything as small as this can be used as an excuse to bring the stock's price down. And quite easily can be done so. I'd like to point out as well that, you know, Lucid is down big today. I have this EV stock portfolio just to watch. It's not a particularly bad day for EV. You'll see there's a lot of red, there's some small green, but it's not huge percentages. This move is because of earnings, okay? It's not because of anything else. It's not even because of what's going on, Russia, Ukraine, etc., etc. That this Lucid is from earnings, so just keep that in mind as well. Don't let anybody tell you different. And again, I'm a huge Lucid bull. I'm just trying to keep it real. Lucid's direct-to-consumer sales philosophy offers an exceptional customer experience from discovery, intrigue, knowledge acquisition, reservation placement to ownership. Lucid's retail studios and service centers are strategically positioned in aspirational locations that fit demand demographics. In Q4, Lucid opened new locations, including the first international studio in Vancouver, Canada, and finished the year on plan. Okay, so again, good. It's important to understand that, you know, when things like this come out, people really are going to just look for the bad things. There is a lot of good happening as well. They're not going to be stressed in the media. So again, if you are a long-term investor, if you are a believer, make sure that you find these things out yourself and you remind yourself why you are an investor. Don't just listen to the noise out there. Now, there's a lot of information when it comes to the balance sheet, when it comes to the numbers, okay? An awful lot. I'm not going to go through everything in detail through the investor presentation. I think there are easier places to do that. But if we just look at 21, we look at the condensed consolidated balance sheet, unaudited as of right now. I just want to look at current assets, okay? Look at the cash. There is a lot of cash. Compare that to the current liabilities. They're in a fantastic cash position, okay? And they've already proven that if they ever needed to, they can raise cash extraordinarily quickly. And they do have the Saudis on their side as well. Cash is not going to be an issue for Lucid Motors. And in the short term, that can be scary because that can mean more raises. I don't see any reason to do that anytime soon, but it can still be scary to investors. The fact that they're not ever going to have to worry about being able to raise can mean that share pools get diluted. In the short term, obviously very scary. But when you simply do look at the assets to liabilities, look at the money they've got from SPAC, from that raise, yes, I mean, it's a fantastic position to be in. And look at the size of their property, plant and equipment, how much that already accounts for. It is huge. Now, one other thing I would like to point out quickly, not particularly important, but net loss per share, 3 months ended December 31st, 64 cents, negative 64 cents. Compared to some of these numbers we were seeing, you know, 2020, same time period, general trends are, you know, better. Now, again, it's not particularly important because we don't expect profits, etc. for a considerable period of time, but still, worth having a little bit of a look at. Now, when it does come to some of the actual, you know, money that happened, the company's Q4 revenue was 26.4 million. It's nothing. It's essentially nothing, okay? That's why the numbers don't matter right now. It's the trends that matter. It's the actual sales. It's the production. It's the updates that we get. It's hearing about a new factory in Saudi. It's looking at the updated employee numbers. It's looking at the cash on the balance sheet because this is minimal. I mean, they're not going to miss 26.4 million if it disappears tomorrow. It means nothing, and that's revenue. That's not profit whatsoever. That included 21.3 million from initial deliveries of the Lucid Air Dream Edition, okay? That's the actual money. That's what it equates to. Very, very little. Again, updated 2022 production outlook for Lucid Air to the range of 12,000 to 14,000 vehicles. That's a 30 to 40% cut from the previously stated 20,000. It is a huge cut. I just took this screenshot to make it a little bit easier to follow, but really quickly, looking ahead, we're updating our outlook for 2022 production to the range of 12,000 to 14,000. This is coming from the CEO. This reflects the extraordinary supply chain and logistics challenges we've encountered and our unrelenting focus on delivering the highest quality product. We remain confident in our ability to capture the tremendous opportunities ahead, given our technology leadership and strong demand for our cars. So what this says to me is they're going to be looking towards even more vertical integration, all going well. The factory expansion could potentially help down the line. These supply chain issues have hit literally every single, EV company in the world. You're going to see every CEO from every company, every CFO from every company speaking about these in any earnings report, but it is still a big hit to take, and it is still, a huge adjustment. 12,000 to 14,000 vehicles as opposed to 20,000, when people are already going to be worried about production numbers being hit due to the uncertain circumstances we live in, and due to the fact that, this is Lucid, and they don't exactly have a long history of, producing this many vehicles. But again, we can't stress this enough. This is very important, and it's not something that us bulls can choose to ignore, and it is going to have long-standing effects on the company's share price, most certainly. Lucid's CFO goes on to say, "We have a strong team, strong products, and a strong balance sheet with over 6.2 billion in cash on hand at year-end. We continue to invest in our business. We met our target of opening 20 studio and service locations in North America. In 22, we'll expand our footprint in Europe and the Middle East, while laying the foundation for a later expansion into Asia Pacific. We remain on track to grow our Casa Grande facility to nearly quadruple its size as the first greenfield dedicated EV factory in North America. And today we announced plans to build a brand new manufacturing facility in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We estimate that the location of our first international manufacturing plant in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia may result in up to 3.4 billion of value to Lucid over 15 years. Huge when this is just one area, you know what I mean? So that's some of the most important things the CEO and CFO had to say. Obviously, I recommend you go listen to the earnings call. I did twice. There wasn't an awful lot that was incredibly exciting that I took note of anyway, but these things are important. It's always important to hear from the CEO and CFO. I think it's good that we got a lot of information, because a lot of companies recently have shied away from important things in the quarterly reports. They've shied away from being open and transparent, and I think this has shown just how open and transparent they are being. I think, again, next quarter is going to be very important. It's going to either fill investors with confidence that a lot of them may have lost through this report, or it's going to bring us down lower again if there is another, change to, expected vehicle output, etc., etc. And one more thing just about, the constrained components. CEO said on the call, are completed items such as trim, carpeting, and glass. This is what is difficult to get. He went on to explain that the company is working to bring as much of its component production in-house as possible to help alleviate some of the supply chain issues it has faced the last year. The automaker also projects supply chain improvements to arrive in the second half of the year. So, absolutely huge statement being made here. And again, this is the kind of thing that's really easy to just brush on by. But if they bring the likes of these things in-house that may not seem as important as some of the bigger issues the company has right now, it is going to be huge in the current climate, in the world we live in today that has so much uncertainty. So again, hopefully we get another update along these lines in the next quarterly report. I know we have to wait a few months for it, whatever. We are going to be following this company for a lot more than a few months. They, to me, really are the most important things to take away from that earnings call. Now, when it comes to the price, I'd like to point out that yesterday they went up near 10%, okay? So if we actually go from where they opened yesterday to where they are pre-market, they're down about 8.9%. However, from the peaks, they are down much more. Currently, about 16%. Absolutely huge coming off the back of this movement. It seems like just when Lucid starts to get some momentum, boom, they come back down to earth. We are trading around an area of support. We can't break through it, okay? It's looking difficult. I don't know if I expect the company to shoot back up here. I think some consolidation needs to happen in these general ranges. One other thing is that RSI probably is going to come quite low. You see, on the daily, it was coming back to neutral. This is a huge dip. Now, oftentimes with Lucid, when that RSI comes down very low, 12 or so levels, we do see an upward move. And I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. You can go and just look back historically at the chart, it doesn't spend much time in oversold territory. So there could be a swing trade, to be played here. Am I going to be touching this today? No chance. Anything could happen with Lucid today. The market opens in just a minute. We will actually see what happens literally at market open. One other thing I would like to point out, though, is that the last time, this trend line got broken and pretty much gapped down through the trend line, there was a huge upward move. It was all the way back at September 21, and that was when the next huge run-up actually happened with Lucid. Now, again, is that going to happen now? No. There was, of course, more variables. There was earnings excitement. There was news coming out. Until people... Oh, let's see what happens. Market literally just opened. I don't have high hopes. Oh, it doesn't look good, my boys. It doesn't look good, my friends. Yeah, you can see it's pretty much just going to fall, and more than likely that's going to continue for a little while as things go on. General markets are down today as well. But I mean, hey, that's the markets right now, baby, isn't it? Oh, look. Oh, it's up a few cents, baby. Let's go. But I should stress that I'm kind of just having fun here. The daily fluctuations don't matter. Whenever an earnings call like that comes out, obviously the company's price is going down. It's that simple. It's so easily for the big banks, the big money to manipulate a stock like Lucid under normal circumstances. So if ever, something like this happens, you bet that they're going to pull that price down, baby, because you got to keep in mind that, institutions are involved in Lucid as well, and they want to buy them cheaper shares. But yeah, you can see how dodgy the chart has been on the smaller time frames. The gap is here. Who knows? Maybe it'll want to come back down, test this 21, 22, fill in that gap. Maybe it'll want to then actually consolidate around this general area. You can see oversold levels on the 15-minute. We won't get much of an update on the 1 day till the end of the day, but you can see, yes, it's come down quite a bit lower. But anyway, this video is already long enough, and I think I am just rambling a little bit because I'm just looking at the chart as I do myself. If you watch this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend. I really do appreciate you being here. Hopefully, I was able to give you guys some value, some insight into that earnings report there, because I know Lucid's a big one on this channel. It's still my biggest position. I think it's between that and Tesla pretty much at any given time. Palantir was up there as well until they dropped so much. But yeah, that's Lucid. How do I personally feel about everything that happened? There's good and bad. The worst thing by far in my eyes is the 12,000 to 14,000 vehicles down from 20,000. That's going to have long-lasting effects on the stock price. We're going to start seeing that today. I don't particularly expect a situation like this to happen. We got good news today as well. People are going to ignore that while the bad news is so fresh in their minds. But when we start to see people accept that, we heard about a new factory that's coming, when, the reservations have gone up considerably, I think when people have a bit of time to deal with what's happening, and Lucid comes down to more attractive prices, I mean, if it comes into the high teens even, I think then is when we can see an upward move. As a long-term investor, all in all, not the quarter you want to read, Could be worse, could have been a whole lot better in my opinion. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate you watching. Please, if you did enjoy, maybe took some value, hit that like button, drop me a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new around here. And again, if you would like that free money from Moo Moo, baby. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's run away. Remember, that's the first link in the description. Literally is free money. Sign up, deposit $100, get some free stocks, baby. Why not? I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. I'm going to see you with another video very soon. Peace.